Good morning, boys. In our last class, we have discussed valence bond theory with some examples and also the limitations of valence bond theory. You have seen there that valence bond theory is successful only when the magnetic nature of the coordination compound is known to us. So this is one of the major drawback of valence bond theory. It can't explain the bonding of coordination compound without the knowledge of magnetic nature of the coordination complex. This theory is basically based on hybridization. There is ligands are donor, metal atom or metal ions, these are acceptor. So metal ligand bonding is a purely covalent bonding. It does not consider the ionic character of metal ligand bonding. Now today we shall discuss CFT, crystal field theory. First of all, I am telling you the main points of crystal field theory. Number one, first point is crystal field theory considers metal ligand bonding is purely ionic that arises due to the electrostatic interactions between the metal ion and the negatively charged ligands or neutral ligands with negative dipoles. So there are two types of mainly ligands, anionic ligands according to crystal field theory. These anionic ligands are considered as point charges and neutral ligands they are considered as negative dipoles. This is first point. Second point is for free metal ion, free metal atom, the d orbitals of free metal atom or ion are degenerate, means they have equal energy. But under the influence of spherical field, negative field, the degeneracy of the d orbital is first lifted. Degeneracy of the d orbital, that means energy of the d orbital is first lifted, and then d orbitals split. D orbitals split under the influence of the ligands. When the ligands attack, the splitting takes place, and the pattern of splitting of d orbital, pattern of splitting of d orbitals depends upon the nature of the crystal field. Nature of the crystal field. Nature of the crystal field means how many ligands are surrounding the metal ion, that is the nature. So why it is known as crystal field? Because it's just like a crystal, ionic crystal. The metal ion is surrounded by a group of anions. You know that in ionic crystal the metal ion is surrounded by a group of anions and there is electrostatic interactions between the metal ion and the anions. Very similar to this, the metal ion here is surrounded by a group of ligands which have ionic interactions, electrostatic interactions. That's why the name is such, crystal field theory. Now see, with the help of, you have two splitting diagram, d orbital splitting, two crystal field in your syllabus. One is octahedral crystal field and the another is tetrahedral crystal field. You have two in your syllabus. First of all, I am giving you the diagram of octahedral crystal field. Okay, so you see the diagram splitting of d orbitals in octahedral crystal field. So this is the first thing that we are going to explain, splitting of d orbitals in octahedral crystal field. So this is the energy axis, energy you write here, energy axis, and these are the free metal ion d orbitals of free metal ion, 5 d orbitals. You write here d orbitals of free metal ion. As I told, according to crystal field theory, these d orbitals, when it is surrounded by a spherical field, negative field, the energy of the d orbital is first lifted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the average energy of the d orbitals in spherical crystal field. Spherical crystal field. Spherical means the metal ion is surrounded by the ligand spherically. So d orbitals, average energy of the d orbitals in a spherical crystal field, the energy is raised first. And then these d orbitals, which are now having greater energy, split into two sets. The sets are 1, 2, 3d orbitals going down. This is the barycenter, and 2d orbitals going up. So this is the splitting. You write here, splitting of d orbitals in octahedral crystal field. See, these are the 3d orbitals, dxy, dyz, dzx. This set is known as T2g set, lower set. The d orbitals are dxy, dyz and dzx. These three orbitals. These three orbitals come to the lower set. That means energy is lowered. And 2d orbitals, this set is known as EG set, which is forming the upper set. These 2d orbitals, these orbitals are dx square y square and dz square. So in octahedral crystal field, the d orbitals split in this pattern. Out of 5 d orbitals, the 3 d orbitals dxy, dyz, dzx go down when energy is lowered, and 2 d orbitals dx square, y square, dz square, these 2 d orbitals go up, their energy is higher. So higher energy set is known as EG set, and lower energy set is known as T2G set. And the difference of energy between the two sets, this difference of energy between the two sets is denoted by delta O. Delta O, this is known as crystal field splitting energy, CFSC. Here delta, this is crystal field splitting energy, O means for octahedral crystal field. So this is the energy difference between the two sets, EG set and T2G set. This energy difference is denoted by delta O, which is known as crystal field splitting energy. And this is the barycenter, center of energy, barycenter. Now the energy of the 3d orbitals that is decreased from the barycenter is minus 2 by 5 of delta O, and the energy of the 2d orbitals which are increased from the barycenter, that is plus 3 by 5 delta O. So see, if an electron is filled in the lower set, then its energy will be decreased by 2 by 5 delta O. Delta O value for different set of metal ions, different set of ligands are different. Remember it. Delta O value is not constant. It depends upon the nature of the metal ion, the charge of the metal ion, and the nature of the ligand and the charge of the ligand. See, so this is delta O. Its magnitude depends upon many factors, as I told you. Therefore, in some cases the splitting energy will be less, in some cases splitting energy will be more like this. That depends upon, basically if the metal ion is kept constant, it will basically depend upon the strength of the ligand. That is, the charge and nature of the ligand, strength of the ligand. Now see, this is the energy, crystal field splitting energy. This set is known as T2Z, this set is known as EG set. Now why these three dxy, dyz, dzx, these three orbitals in octahedral field died not coming in the path of ligands, but these two orbitals x square, y square and dz square, these two orbitals are just falling in the path of ligands. So these two orbitals are experiencing a greater repulsive interactions from the ligand. That's why their energy have been raised. So it is, you know that this is the octahedral crystal field. This is the octahedral crystal field. You can show it in this way: dx square, dy square, dz square. This is x-axis and this one is z-axis. So in octahedral crystal field, this is the diagram. This is the diagram of octahedral crystal field. What happens? These x-axis and y-axis, the ligands, these are the direction of the ligands. Direction of the ligands. Ligands, ligands, ligands. So the ligands are surrounding the metal ion. Here is the metal ion in this pattern, and naturally the x-axis, y-axis and z-axis, these three axes in which the orbitals are aligned, these three axes are directly interacting with the ligands. You know that dx square, y square, shape of dx square, y square, it is oriented along the x-axis and y-axis, and dz square is oriented along the z-axis, and ligands are also coming in the same path. And that's why the negative charge of the ligand or negative dipole of the ligand and the electrons present in dx square, y square, dz square, these electrons and negative charge directly repel each other. And that's why due to greater repulsion, due to greater force of repulsion, their energy of two orbitals dx square, y square, dz square has been raised. However, these are not directly falling in the path of ligands, so their energy is lowered. This is the reason. Now, we have seen the diagram. This is the first case, energy axis. The d orbitals of free metal ion, average energy has been raised under the spherical crystal field. Then in the octahedral field, the splitting takes place. D orbitals split in this pattern. This is known as crystal field stabilization energy, crystal field splitting energy, EG set, T2G set. This is the diagram of splitting diagram of d orbitals in octahedral crystal field. Now come to this, we have many things to discuss here. First thing is the delta O, its magnitude. When the metal ion is constant, its magnitude depends upon basically the strength of the ligand. The ligand of higher strength, they are known as strong ligand, and ligand of weaker strength, weak strength, they are known as weak ligand. So some ligands can produce strong field, some ligands can produce weak field. That's why the value of delta O differ. For strong ligand, the value of delta O will be much higher. For weak ligand, the value of delta O will be much lower. So on the basis of this point, crystal field theory has classified the ligands in, or you can say the crystal field theory has given an order, experimental order of the ligands on the basis of their field strength, that is known as spectrochemical series of ligands. Spectrochemical series of ligands. So what is spectrochemical series of ligands? See, spectrochemical series of ligands means the arrangement of the ligands in their increasing order of field strength. The arrangement of the ligands in the increasing order of field strength, this series is known as spectrochemical series of ligands. So, spectrochemical series of ligands, you will see there some of the ligands like CO, I am writing the spectrochemical series. CO, then Cn minus, then NO2 minus, then En, then NH3, it is Py, then H2O, then OX2 minus, then OH minus, then F minus, Cl minus, Br minus, I minus. So see it here, a small part of the spectrochemical series, I have written it here. This is known as spectrochemical series of ligands. Spectrochemical series of ligands. What is it? Spectrochemical series of ligands is the arrangement of ligands on the basis of their field strength. Okay, field strength is known as spectrochemical series of ligands. What is the significance? Carbonyl ligand. Here carbonyl ligand has been written, the first carbonyl ligand. This one can produce a very strong, the strongest field produced by carbonyl ligand. So in case of carbonyl ligand, the value of delta O will be the highest. And in the series, in case of I minus, the value of delta O will be the lowest. That means the splitting energy separation. Energy separation in carbonyl will be highest, and energy separation of iodide, this will be lowest, just like this energy separation. Therefore, this is carbonyl ligand, then greater field strength, then cyano ligands, nitrito O ligands, ethane diamine, 1,2-diamine, ammonia, pyridine, water, oxalate, OH minus, F minus, Cl minus, Br minus, I minus. A part of the spectrochemical series written here. You will get the complete series in your NCERT book. Now see, this theory, crystal field theory, on the basis of the experiment, this theory has arranged the ligands on the basis of their field strength. So it's a very good point regarding this. Now see what happens. If the delta O value is much higher, then what happens when we talk about the electron filling? So I am giving you, suppose before splitting, the d orbital has a fourth electron. Before splitting, the metal ion has 4 electrons. 4 electrons before splitting. So after splitting, it has T2G set and EG set. Now in T2G set, this is the lower set. So according to rule, the electrons will first fill in the lower energy orbital. So first the electrons will fill in the lower energy orbital T2G, this is T2G and this is EG. So see, this one is T2G, I write in this way, and this one is EG. Now 4 electrons are there, therefore the electrons, first electron will go here, second electron will also go here because these are lower energy orbitals, third electron will also go here. Now what about fourth? Whether the fourth electron will pair or whether the fourth electron will be going to the EG set, that will be decided by this value. Whether the fourth electron will be filled in the T2G set or the fourth electron will be filled in the EG set, this will be decided by the value of delta O, crystal field splitting energy. And there is one more term, that is pairing energy. So what is pairing energy? If the electron prefers pairing, that means the fourth electron will pair up here. So it has to pair in the same orbital with the cost of some energy. Remember it. That energy is known as pairing energy. The energy that the electron has to spend, for pairing in an orbital, that is known as pairing energy. Now see whether the pairing energy is denoted by P. Now supposing in this case delta O is greater than pairing energy. Just see the condition. If it is told that delta O is greater than pairing energy, that means the electron will like to pair up. because the electron can't go there. It has to spend delta O amount of energy, this amount of energy. This is the splitting energy. From going from T2G set to EG set, it has to spend delta O, this much energy. And for pairing the electron in the same orbital T2G set, it has to spend energy P. So automatically, as delta O is greater than P, so the electron will like pairing. So electron will like pairing. Okay. Now see, this is the first case. So if delta O is greater than P, the configuration of D4 configuration after splitting will be T2G4 EG0. See it here. T2G4, why I am writing T2G4? 1, 2, 3, 4. Pairing will take place. So when under this condition, pairing will take place. Now if you change the condition is just reverse. Delta O is less than P. That means crystal field splitting energy is less, pairing energy is more. So the electron will go to the upper set, because here it has to spend less energy compared to pairing energy. So compared to pairing energy, this energy is less going to the upper set. In that case, the configuration will be T2G3 EG1. So see, different configuration. These are the electronic configuration of D4. Considering the D4, metal ion has 4 electrons in the d orbital before splitting. So after splitting configuration will be either this or this, depending upon the conditions. If the condition is given this one, you will write this configuration. If the condition is given this one, you will write this configuration. Now one more point here. Suppose in case of D1, no need of any condition. D1 means T2G1, D2 means T2G2, D3 means T2G3. This case, this delta O greater than P or delta O less than P, this case will start from D4, D5, D6, D7, see it here, D7. Then again from D8, you will have no condition. See, I am giving you the example, D8. Suppose the metal ion before splitting has D8 configuration. D8 configuration before splitting. So after splitting, these are T2G set, this is EG set, So T2G, EG, 8 electrons, 1, 2, 3. Supposing 3 delta O is less, then it will be 4, 5. Then automatically, according to electron filling rule, after filling the orbitals singly, then the pairing will take place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is the configuration of D8, whatever be the condition. So if you apply this condition, delta O is greater than P. See it here, delta O is greater than P. That means what? That electrons will like pairing. So like pairing means what will be the configuration? So 3, then 4, 5, 6, like pairing. Then 2 electrons left. So where the 2 electrons go? Automatically the 2 electrons will go to the upper set. That is this configuration. What is the configuration? T2G6 EG2. T2G6 EG2. Now if you change the condition, supposing delta O is less than P, if you change the condition, that means the filling of electrons will be first 1, 2, 3, then fourth, delta O is less, so electron will go to the upper set, 4, 5, then after filling the orbital singly, spin pairing will take place according to Hund's rule. So it is 5 electron, then 6, 7, 8. So again you are getting same configuration, T2G6 EG2. That's why I am telling you that the condition delta O greater than P or delta O less than P, this will be applicable from D4 to D7. This condition will be applicable. From D4 to D7, you will have different configuration after splitting. 1, 2, 3, same configuration, D1, D2, D3, same configuration. Again, D8, D9, D10, same configuration. Therefore, the condition delta O less than P or delta O greater than P, these conditions are applicable for D4 to D7. Remember it. So this is very important thing because questions are generally asked on the basis of this. Write the diagram of splitting diagram of d orbitals in octahedral crystal field, number 1. Number 2, what will be the electronic configuration of D4 after splitting when delta O is greater than P, delta O is less than P. This type of questions are generally come in the examinations. So I have explained the d orbital splitting in octahedral crystal field. In the next class, you will come to know the splitting diagram of tetrahedral crystal field and something more about crystal field theory. Okay boys, thank you.